Interesting action happening in here overall in the market today. You actually had your S&Ps trading inversely from your NASDAQ in here. So you had a little bit of a pullback in here, about $3 or so from your spiders this morning. Obviously, the Qs doing the exact opposite of that and getting a nice little pop in here, actually trading green for a little while in here before coming back down. But all in all, you had that inverse correlation between the NASDAQ and your SPY. So that's something that we need to watch as we're going into tomorrow's trading session, which is going to be the last trading session of the first week of August in here. So just a crazy volatile week in here. And basically all this volatility we had in the past week or so with our VIX above 20, then crashing back down to getting those short little spikes. It's all kind of culminated in this, right? So we thought we were going to get just a little bit of a breather in here today. That's what it looked like that was going to happen in your spiders. But obviously your QQQ, your NASDAQ, obviously had different plans and said, guess what? The volatility is still here. And a lot of that had to do with SpaceX as well, just because of the news that they had, or not necessarily news, but the lockout ended today, right? So everybody was actually allowed to start selling their shares. So that's why you had that big sell-off yesterday going into close today. You had that sharp pullback, and then immediately everybody's just kind of grabbing things. So you had a lot of different action in here from that standpoint. But all in all, we still need to take a breather in here. We're still basically up at all-time highs. So we're going to see if some consolidation is going to happen tomorrow, or are we going to get a larger sell-off? So was this just a setup day just to take a bigger drawdown tomorrow, or are we trying to find a spot where we can kind of take a breath, right? So we're getting a little overextended in here. Your NASDAQ is still trying to play catch up with the S&Ps. So we still might try to see the NASDAQ get pushed in here, especially if you are going to get those big moves from Micron and all the major chip players, right? And things like that. So that is something that we do need to watch as we're going forward. But in this video, we are going to start off talking about AppLovin in here. That is going to be ticker symbol APP. We are down almost 20% on the day from that earnings report that happened yesterday. So you can see right through here our new trend line in here, what has been breached. So going forward, what are we looking at? Well, we have this area right here, which is going to be that 370. That is going to be something that we do need to climb back up above, but it depends on how much a breather we are going to take down here, since we had such a large move in here to the downside. So your implied volatility did get crushed in here, but it's still relatively elevated in here. You got about $11 expected move being priced in by this Friday. If you go all the way out to your monthly expiration in August, about 33 bucks. So we're going to see how much of a breather we're going to take here, or is this going to bring a sharp little run up in here as soon as we get over that kind of earnings volatility that we just had, right? So that is what we're looking at in here. To the upside, to the downside, we are going to be focusing on that 310 outside there. We're looking at that $300 range. So you had a lot of action in here coming in, especially on those 330 puts today. That's mainly where all your volume was, the 320 puts, 315, 310s, go all the way down to about your 300s. Those were all within the 1,000 volume. If you go to the call side, it looked like only 350, 360, and then you got close to 1,000 here with your 400 strikes. So all the volume in here today was definitely on that put side. In this video, we're also going to take a look at Tesla in here on our weekly chart. We're still trading down in here. We are well below 400. We're trading at 320. We starting to curl right here, right? So you had this long lower wick last week coming in. So that was good news for us. But the problem is we're not getting the big pops in here that we want to see a nice V-shaped recovery. So I don't know if this has a lot to do with SpaceX kind of interfering in things now, since Elon Musk has both companies here listed. But we have to kind of be aware of that going forward. But we're just not seeing the big jump that we usually see, especially if we're getting a big pullback in Tesla for whatever reason, right? You usually see somewhat of a sharp recovery, or at least a dead cat that is going to give you of some sort of profits here if you're trying to scrape the bottom, right? So overall, Tesla, we're down $2 on the day. IV ranking here fell off, obviously, since earnings. We're only trading about 18 right now. Raw IV is 48, about a $5 expected move priced in by tomorrow's expiration. If you go all the way out to Monday, about $8 expected move in here. To the upside, what are we going to be looking at? Well, we got to focus on that 330. Outside of there, we're looking at 351, which is going to be right here, which is a nice support for us that we hit back in April. That's going to be a hard, nice psych level as well for us to kind of breach and hold. But anything outside of there, we are going to be focusing on that 365. To the downside in here, we are going to be watching that 314 area. Outside of that, it is going to be this major level right here. This is going to be your 300. It's going to match up perfectly with this lower trend line in here and our other support. So you got basically a big $50 window in here, 350 to about $300. We're going to see how long it takes us to get out of this box, either to the upside or to the downside in here. But we're going to need some volatility. We're going to need some good volume in here to kind of kick back in for us and then see where this is going to take us in here going forward. But all in all, we'll take what we got in here, which is a green week so far. That is better than where we were just a few weeks ago with that large drop off from earnings. So let's see how App and Tesla kind of plays out in here for the rest of the week with our last trading session that we have. And we're going to see how things start to unfold in the overall markets as we start our way throughout the month of August. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.